Okay, I got my first job as an intern pharmacist in the largest hospital in Malaysia. From there I went on to the drug industry, which is a normal route for young pharmacists like me, and worked my way through two Swiss companies, a company called Roche that many of you will know, and another company called Ciba-Geigy, now known as Novartis, and I was the marketing manager for them. And then around about the mid-90s, decided to go on my own. I didn't like the drug industry, I didn't like drugs, didn't like side effects, and I realized that nature can heal you. I learned it really in a very useful way. When I got out, I was doing my internship in the hospital, and I used to get a very strange rash that comes back every 3-4 weeks. It never hurts, never itches, but it breaks out into blood spots. It's very embarrassing. So being a pharmacist, I tried everything I knew myself, potions, creams, lotions, antihistamines and all that. Nothing really worked. At that point I was looking for Roche, which is a very big player in dermatology, and I started talking to dermatologists, and eventually they put me on a drug that seemed to work somewhat. Maybe the rashes came back 20% less. But being a pharmacist, I read the fine print, and I knew it's going to burn my liver out, and I knew I couldn't do that for life. So my mother insisted I go and see a homeopath, and I really thought these guys were all flakes, they were jerks, they didn't know what they were talking about, and this guy didn't inspire me at all. He sat in a dark, dingy room and didn't even wear a lab coat, and he kept asking me strange questions like, do you constipate, do you have... Anyway, cut the story short, he gave me what looked like little lizard eggs, which I had to put on my tongue, and they were all different shades of yellow. I'm used to the drug industry where it's all perfectly done, so I don't have confidence, but I already paid for it, and I said, look, let me try it. So that night, I perched like a tap, and the next morning, I went about my life normally, but 3 weeks later, the rash did come back, but only 10%. I was 90% cured. And I couldn't believe it. Even now, as I tell you this, my hair stands. And I went back to the same homeopath with now renewed respect and said, what is this? And he said, you mean you're not cured yet? And he gave me one more set of that pills. And I took it, and again I perched like a tap. And the following month I was cured. It never came back. It's never came back for 20 years. And I tried for 2 years, the best of modern medicine, being a pharmacist myself, and the best doctors in the country because I was with Roche. Nothing worked. And then it hit me. I mean, what did I learn for 4 years as a pharmacist, And then I started reading about natural medicine and how nature heals. And I realized I was on the wrong path. Drugs are anti-medicine, it's antibiotics, antiseptics, antihistamine. It works against the body and side effects. And I realized that really, we've been here for billions of years. We've been here for millions of years, and nature heals us. I mean, my mother's grandmother and her grandmother didn't go to hospital to deliver a baby. Nature took care of them. And this brought me to a realization that maybe I was doing the wrong thing, pushing drugs. And so around about the middle of the 90s, I decided to quit and started my own company, looking at natural medicine and herbs and what have you. We're doing that, and then in the mid 2000, there was a big financial crisis, and there was this public company in Australia that was ailing, so we took the company over, and we were doing some cool stuff, they were doing some cool stuff. They were the only company in the world that could make collagen from sheep skins, and it was completely disease-free, it was halal, and that was cool. We were already doing stuff which I put into the Australian public company. We have a low GI white bread, low sodium salt, all the things that can actually make unhealthy food become a bit healthier. And I'm happy to report that last year we managed to turn the company around. We're now profitable on the Australian Stock Exchange. How did iGalen get its name? Actually, iGalen is an inspiration from Claudius Galen, who lived 500 years ago. He was the physician of the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, and he was the first person to document inflammation as a name. And it's 500 years later we realize everything is caused by inflammation, but he already said inflammation in terms of pain, in terms of redness, in terms of swelling, and in terms of loss of organ function. So we wanted to call the company iGalen, then somebody said no, let's make it Inspiration Galen or International Galen or International Galen, and hence iGalen. And I believe that we've got a great product, the world's first carbohydrate manager. We take too many carbohydrates, we take too much world over, more so in America. And we see it around us. There's too much diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol, obesity. And this is the world's first carbohydrate manager. Dr. Joe Aarons, who was one of the inventors and the Nobel Prize nominee 2 years in a row now, says that had this been invented 30 years ago, it would be called a vitamin. It would be another vitamin, a vitamin P or a vitamin Q or X or whatever, because it's so critical. It should be part of any time you take a food that's rich in starch or sugar. It should be there, and nature always puts it there. But we refine everything, so it's a product that everybody should take. It's the product that children, adults, sports people, people with diseases like diabetes and hypertension, pregnant mothers, nursing mothers. It's just a combination of a grape skin, an onion skin, and green coffee. So it cannot have any side effects. It's a great product to talk to anybody about. When we launched the product, we started getting a lot of testimonials. The one that everybody tells us is, look, I got more energy, I sleep better, I sleep deeper. Some say they don't constipate anymore. Others come and tell us that their blood sugar has gone down. We've got cases of people where after 6 to 8 weeks their cholesterol reading comes down. I know at least 2 people whose hypertension has improved. We do not ever claim to cure diseases. Like I said earlier, we're just aiding the body better manage carbohydrates, because the body is so unprepared with all the modern day carbs that we get shot at us. And while it's ideal to go low carb, most people don't want to go low carb. So here we put back in your diet a carbohydrate manager that helps your body better manage those carbohydrates. Okay, there are 2 variants of Immulin Plus. The first one is, we call it M, which is just a plain manager for all of us who just want to better manage carbohydrates, who want better energy, who want to feel better at the end of the day, sleep better, recover better from the day, avoid that mid-afternoon dips that people have in terms of mental clarity. And the other one is called C, and that's controller. That's for people who have got some kind of a pre-existing disease condition. They are pre-diabetic, diabetic, have got high cholesterol, hypertension. These people can take it's the ratio of the 3 that have been put differently. When you are in a public company selling products the normal way through the channels, you're struggling to get the right message to the final consumer, right? You put the product into a shelf and then you wait for the consumer to come pick it up, and you've got to advertise very heavily. So it's a very costly exercise. And if you think about it, it's not a perfect model anymore. And with the cost of advertising and the internet and everything, that's becoming more and more difficult. So we were already looking at alternate. And then at the same time, my partner in Hollister, who's the second largest shareholder of Hollister, he's absolutely convinced that the network marketing model is the way of the future. So while I resisted initially, as I got to see the model again and again, I realized this is a perfect model. You got the product, you got the consumer, and you use motivated middle people to talk to the consumer. And rather than pay out to all these big chains and big pharmacies, you pay them. And I think this is the way of the future. I think network marketing is the way of the future. I think if we didn't invent it, then we'll have to reinvent it again, because that's the way products will move in the future. Obviously, like any company, we want to grow big and grow fast. And again, if that's what you want, network marketing is the way to do it. And so we've launched in Malaysia. We plan to, early next year, from January onwards, launch in the United States, Canada, Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong. So I think it's tremendous growth opportunity with a product that nobody has, whether it's be Immulin Plus or sheep collagen or the brain formula. I don't think anybody has that combination lined up like that. I think iGalen has got a tremendous potential in the lineup that's coming up. The next product we'll launch will be a brain formula. Immune Plus works on the body, better manage your carbs, gives you more energy. The brain formula is going to better manage energy in the brain, so you'll have less swings in your energy levels in the brain, make you more alert. But there is definitely evidence now actually prevents brain inflammation and avoids the long-term consequence of a disease like dementia or Alzheimer's, which is a big problem, and there's no real solution inside. Following that, as I mentioned earlier, we're the only company in the world, the parent company Holistar, that makes sheep collagen. So we're going to introduce sheep collagen exclusively via this network, and we're actually working now with our partner in Spain to come up with liposomes, so 6 times better absorbed. It's going to be a very unique product. It's going to come up. We've got another product that you'll supply to your tongue, straight to your blood, for joint pains. So it's a very exciting lineup. We'll launch probably every 3 to 6 months a great new product to keep the network going and growing. We also launched last year, or early this year, the world's first low GI white bread. We will launch the food-grade collagen early part of next year. We'll launch it via iGalen as well. We will launch as well the low-sodium salt and the other products along that space. And iGalen becomes a very important channel to get these products out to people. Yes, we do. I think there are lots of exciting plans. We're still drafting them, putting them in place. All I can say is I think that iGalen represents a big future international opportunity. Very often you have a company in the US only doing US, or a company in Asia doing only Asia. We have a company that's in Asia coming to the US, bringing, I think, world-class products, world-class technologies, patented technologies, run by 2 founders who run public companies. So we're going to be whiter than white, super clean, no nonsense, no ethics issues, and I think it offers a great opportunity. And I'm very hopeful, very optimistic. Time is right, product is great, company is there. I think we represent a great future.